And welcome to the Escape with Nick and Adam. My name is Nick.
And I am currently watching Miracle on 34th Street. My name's Adam.
You really are an old man.
I'm not watching Miracle on 34th Street, dude.
I was like, it's a little early
What? It's for Halloween.
for Halloween. The Halloween classic, Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just goofing around.
All right, so I know you didn't watch it, but I did, and I want to yell about it. So we're going to be talking about Ahsoka. We're going to be talking some good things I saw. I'll talk about little Netflix's One Piece, and just kind of get into whatever randomness we get into. Adam, anything you want to go with today?
I saw Tara Reid fail at the, and I was rooting for the Navy SEALs show or something like that, Special Forces.
Oh, where they put them through the Special Forces training?
Yeah. I'll tell you the truth, though. I mean, I'd have been out on the first challenge. Anybody would. Their second challenge, they had to run into like freezing water. Now, I'm not saying running into freezing water is any kind of no problem, but I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I'd do it. The first challenge, I wouldn't even do it. I'd have just handed in my badge and I would have went home. There was this giant Indiana Jones like suspension bridge, right? But it was in good shape. It was a good bridge, about like a fucking mile out off the ground. Now you had to walk out onto it, and then at some point you had to get dropped by a ladder or like a small elevator onto like a plank, where there was two poles that you had to balance yourself across and walk across. And what's that? Sounds terrible, right? These people did it. Well, they didn't do it. Not all of them passed. A lot of them fell through the hole and all that stuff. Of course, they're in higher harnesses. Otherwise, death. But I won't do a roller coaster now. And I'm an overweight guy. There's a lot of reasons for that, whatever. If I wasn't an overweight guy, I still wouldn't do a roller coaster. I have no desire to be that high up in the air for a thrill.
Yeah, I think. Well,
I'm an old man.
Being in Michigan, it's kind of like a pilgrimage that you go down to Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio, and you go to Cedar Point.
Sure.
Now, when we were younger, yeah, super. Let's go wait an hour for a 3-minute ride. Now I'm in my 40s, like, bro, no, like, not even if I'm standing for more than 45 minutes for no reason, I'm just gonna go home.
Right.
It's
right.
That, like, I'm not sitting here doing hopefully we'll get on this ride. Who knows? Like, no.
Yeah, so Jack Osborne's in the show. He's interesting to watch. Black China's in the show, but she's like, I'm not Black China. I'm Angela White. I'm trying to, not trying to get away from her brand. That wasn't her intention, but she's like all, I don't know. Everybody had their different reasons for being there is my point. And Tara Reid was, trying to face some demons. So she was the first person to quit.
I don't think she's got an athletic bone in her body.
Well, that was the thing, is they had this huge backpack on her, like, and she just couldn't carry it.
They're probably the backpack maybe outweighs her.
Yeah. Man, I'll call and started walking. She fell, but she got out there, and she got caught trying to sneak like 4 packs of cigarettes into the joint. She got caught by the Special Forces guy.
Yeah, because the Special Forces guy aren't going to find some cigarettes because they haven't dealt with dumb shit recruits trying to like sneak stuff in for the last however many years. Don't worry, I'm going to sneak in some cigarettes though.
Right. So yeah, that's interesting, but I'm probably not going to watch any more of it. Because
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to gauge. So, what's your excitement level for Loki season 2?
I don't have any.
There. Okay, next topic.
Well, I
But
mean,
but
it's
Marvel,
like
I think it's more indicative of the state of Marvel right now than it is that, oh, hey, it's Loki season 2. Or I'm just like, does anyone give any flying what about anything Marvel's got going on?
I'm in the camp. I'm going to see Superman Legacy in 2025. I'm going to see the new
Okay.
Batman movie. The one movie that I am anticipating is Joker Folie à Deux. But back to your question about Loki, I'm not excited about anything anybody camp is doing right now that's coming out. Like, I kind of feel like we got had with Blue Beetle. You know what I mean?
No, I don't feel like I got had. As soon as that trailer came out and they put in that stupid joke at the end, everybody went like,
Sure.
"Oh, they're doing this." Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm on the I don't give a shit side.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, which is actually more dangerous than being mad. Like, apathy is far worse than because apathy is no emotion. They've lost enormity, and your average nerd is like, deuces, dude. Like, no thanks. And I think that's the general state of Marvel in general. There's just a whole lot of people are just like, and next thing, next big thing. Let's go.
Yet Kiss still rules.
Okay. Why are they touring again? Why?
Why not?
Who's in the lineup? Do you even know?
Yeah, Tommy Thayer's on lead guitar. He wears the spaceman makeup. Eric Singer's back on drums. He has been back on drums forever. Eric Singer was the drummer that took over after Eric Carr died, and then when the reunion tour happened, he got a very big paycheck to exit the band for a little while, kind of like a layoff. He wears Peter Criss makeup, and then there's Paul and Gene. Yeah, I got their last 5 albums, man. I mean, come on now. It's fucking Kiss. You're talking to
That
me.
I have no doubt. But, like, is it just because the Rolling Stones are still going and they're like, F
And that's
those
another
guys?
thing I was gonna say. I mean, I get what you're saying. They're old dudes,
There's nothing to
and
prove anymore.
right. But you know what? They don't suck.
Well,
And
you
these
don't
movies
have to be.
suck.
No, yeah.
What the fuck? Hold on. Sorry. There's fucking ghosts in this place. All right. Sorry boot that.
Caught a ghost. Nice.
Yeah. Man, these fucking movies, and these TV shows, they kind of suck.
Yeah,
You know what it is, man? I don't get excited to turn them on, and so I don't want to spend my time. It's time investment for me.
Oh, that's 100% it. Like, we were just talking about the Cedar Point thing. Like, why the hell would I go spend 8 hours at a place waiting in line for 95% of the time? That does, when you say it out loud, like, that makes 0 sense why you would do that. It's a waste of time. Like, I get pissed off, like, if I'm at work and, like, I remember, say, I used to work at a factory and, like, the line would be down, and I'm like, hey, if you're not going to have this thing up and running, I'm going home. Like, they're like, well, you're getting paid. Like, I'll be fine. I can waste time at home. I'd much rather waste time at home instead of wasting time here.
Right.
And I used to blow so many people's minds with that. They're like, but you're getting paid. I was like, I don't care. It's still not enough money for me to just, sit around and do nothing.
And a lot of them were a lot older people too. I'm sure saying that to you, people older than you. A lot of people in our generation, and then even the younger ones, they can't wrap their head around.
I can't wrap my head around how you stay at one place for 30 years. like that would drive me insane. Just thinking about it makes me go like, why the hell would you do that?
I suppose I suppose I'm the one to answer that because I don't have 30 years, but I've got a decade plus.
Right, but I've done that as well. Like I've been at jobs for like, I was at the school district for like 13 years, but it was always like, am I going to stay here forever? Hell no. And then like I look if they call me back and gave me more money and it's like, hey, come back and do the job, I'd be like, I'm no thank you. Because sometimes like when you go somewhere else and you're like, oh, it is better like somewhere else. It's like, oh, like all that stuff that I hated, I don't have to deal with that. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. So okay, we're gonna do a little something special tonight.
Oh, all right. Let me know. Pop my top.
We're gonna pop the top. No, we're gonna kind of focus in on you here, Nick. We had a conversation earlier today about how you were feeling as far as Ahsoka goes, and how upset that you are. Plus, you've got also a personal issue going on with your tooth, huh?
Yeah, I have.
So let's address that. Let's talk about that.
All of my YouTube research, I think I've got an abscess in my tooth, which is spreading to the swelling up into my cheek, which makes me look more like a chipmunk than I normally am. So I am, as long as I don't have to focus on it, I'm good. But if I have to, like, I drive for a living, so I'm literally just like poking at it and like jabbing at it the whole time because there's nothing else to do. So that's terrible. But as long as I've got stuff to do, like, I'm good.
When did you first experience symptoms?
Kind of started over the weekend because I knew it was like it was just like a toothache, and that's stuff that's just part of life. And then the swelling and stuff that started yesterday. And
that sucks.
Over into today, so and of course it's like on the Thursday show. I was like, should I call the doctor? Should I will they just give me a script for antibiotics over the phone? Like, I know you're not supposed to, but I was like, hey, like, I know what it is. Just let me get some damn antibiotics from you. And
they're like, okay, Dr. Nick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, no, a-hole, that's not how things work. I was like, yeah, I know. So I didn't even call it because I know that's how the conversation's gonna go. So I was just like, well, I'll see.
Just make an appointment, man.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's the when can I get in? Because I can't get in. Oh. There's Nate.
Hey, what's up, Nate?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How long were you there? Because I was just talking and then I didn't even notice.
I wasn't there too long.
Oh, okay.
I'd come hang out and try to catch a smile and a laugh.
Yeah. So
good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, I was just informing Adam how I have an abscess in my mouth and I'm trying to work through that. It's like as long as I'm steady, like doing something, like I'm good. But like I'm like to my own, I get the idle hands thing, or I'll just do something terrible.
Where is it?
Right
there. I have this thing. It's like a growth in the bone in the bottom, and I thought it was an abscess, so I went to get it looked at, and the guy was like, "No, it has a really weird name, like a tohai or something." But he showed me it's actually growth of the bone, and he showed me like what it looked. It looks like almost like a walnut growing out of the underneath the tongue. If it gets bad, I was like,
that's great. Yeah, because I had a spacer in when I was a kid because I had really bad teeth when I was a kid. And they put a spacer in.
Yeah.
Like, so that the teeth wouldn't grow together for like, I think I was 7. I had to wear it till I was like 12.
Oh.
Until that.
So you had it at your original parents.
Yeah.
Before the FBI came.
Yes, before the FBI came and tried to take me away. But I think that made the tooth grow in weird because there would be kind of like you where, but I could feel the root on the outside. Like sometimes
Wow.
it would get irritated. I'd poke at it. I was like, oh, that's root. That's not supposed to be there. And then that tooth actually ended up kind of breaking, and I've just kind of been like, I'll get taken care of one of these days, and now it's all jacked up and infected. So fantastic. So now I'm here. Why wouldn't I be here?
Because it's dinner time.
My wife came home. She's like, I forgot you had a show. I'm going to eat without you. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So, Nate, how goes the Killer Hair stuff, man? I got to read it. I think Adams, did you finish reading it?
I did. It's great.
It's great. Are you guys now? Tell me this: are you placating me, or is it really good?
No,
I really enjoyed it.
I'm a good friend, Nate, and I tell you if it's a piece of shit.
I was a little side detour. I was considering in the year that we've known each other, I really consider you guys to be friends. It's weird,
well, and that's same. But I was always like, my son's
likewise.
like, oh, my online friends. I was like, online friends, that's not a thing. And I was like, no, Nate's my friend. Like we text and call now. So it's like, yeah. And I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know if we'll ever actually meet in person. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I hope we do. And Killer Hair is going well. I got to talk to a guy yesterday, and he's a writer and an artist, and he's going to come on board as an editor.
Oh,
so he has tasked me with he broke the script down into 4 books, and we are going to attack it he's like, you wrote your movie script, you have an idea, let's tackle it in comic book format. And there's going to be small changes made. Nick, you and I went over some notes. Adam, I'm going to show up at your doorstep at 2 a.m.
the notes.
Where are your notes? But I'm going to make some small adjustments, and then we're going to try to make it. So I've got 2 girls working, or women. I don't know.
People, Nate. People.
They're women. They're women. They're awesome.
They're okay with it.
They're 2 women working on covers, and my teacher gave me a hard time because he said that he's like, well, why do you need so many covers? It's just for class. I'm like, well, what if one person doesn't do a cover? I have a cover from another person. They don't show up. But this is what we're working with right now.
Wow.
Oh, can you see that? I don't know.
I can. Yeah, yep, when you hold it right like that.
So this is a rough. This is from an artist named, I'm going to turn this weird background thing off. Her name is Myra Hernandez, and she is the nicest person, and she is so shy in a way. I hope she gets on your show sometime. She is such a talented artist. Can you pull up her Instagram?
Okay.
She's such a talented artist, and she's afraid. And I'm like, she's like, I want to go into comic books. I'm like, let's go. She is good. But we got 2 covers. Sophia's doing interiors, and if I can get the script laid out, then we'll try to make it happen. But
what was her name again?
Myra, Mayra _ Hernandez, I think. She was
Myra Comics Hernandez.
6. Yeah, 6. Yeah, she was a drummer in a punk band. How cool is that?
Yeah.
How cliche, but in a really cool way.
And she's doing her own story, and her story is it is a Pork Chop Express type of story.
Oh yeah, this is really interesting.
So she has one that's like a superhero right there in the middle row, the black and white one. But she's good, right?
No,
yeah.
It's different, but it's really good. And yeah, I love that style. Because when I try and draw cool stuff, and I use these nice, thick, chunky lines, that I love that look because you get some really cool shapes. doing that instead of doing like really fine lines sometimes, it doesn't look nearly this good. So, and even like the photoshopping of this with the hand out of focus, that's awesome. That's very cool.
And she said she had another account, but it was hacked, so that she doesn't have too much on here. But I mean, she's good. And
no, I love this style. This is great.
We're she's got her thing. She had her cover posted on her story.
I love
that.
That's why I like being give her a follow. So this is cool.
She had her cover for her project posted on her stories, which is a really cool cover. But stories don't stay up there. But she wants to be in comics, and I told her we'll do what we can to help her.
I have a comic, so
yes. Yeah. Let's do it. But so she's doing the cover I showed you, and then Anastasia Still Smoking, who is the one that did the Shining homage.
Okay.
For Night of the Chihuahuas, she's doing a cover, and I mean, this Night of the Chihuahuas felt like a mad dash. I want to take it easy on Killer Hair and do it right, and I think we've made a little name for ourselves, so hopefully kind of keep that momentum going and keep people happy. So
I keep that ball rolling. So, and I think and I know when I was giving notes, I know we talked about if you're going to go, just graphic novel or make it, make it, break it up. But I think breaking it up like 4 stories, I think that's easy to get out of that script. So I think a 4-issue miniseries is going to be perfect for that. So,
the one thing I heard was that people like to binge, which is true. Yep. And if you get 4 issues, you can raise money as it goes. You can get it out there, and I mean, I think that's the thing, is really getting it in people's hands, and kind of like we did with Night of the Chihuahuas, building the momentum. So
yeah.
And we're almost done. We're almost done with Night of the Chihuahuas issue 5.
Wow. I'm excited. Me?
Yes,
I am. I am very tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
So,
Nate, how far are you into Ahsoka? Let's get down the brass tacks here.
Issue 8, I think. No, I think I'm on episode 5. I think I just finished.
So, and I think you said you were enjoying it. How are you?
I saw your post. I'm not going to put my foot in the bubbly water.
No. Because he wanted you on the show for a reason too.
I don't want to feel like I'm gonna start shit kicking here, but just like, because I want to be fair and sensitive to Nate's perspective.
I guess it's just better than most of the other stuff. It's engaging. It doesn't feel bland. Like you've got a rubber steak and you're just gnawing at it because you think you're gonna get sustenance off of it. Like
right. And you said you didn't watch Rebels and you didn't watch Clone Wars, right? So you parachuted into this one.
I've heard they're very deeply related, though, right?
Well, that was my concern with this story, because if you hadn't watched Rebels, which most of the characters from this are from, and if you didn't watch Clone Wars, there was story elements from that, which feeds all the way up here, from Ahsoka being Anakin's apprentice and that whole deal. And I kind of felt like if you just parachuted into the show, you would have no idea what's going on, and you don't know why, who these people are. You don't know why these people are threats, why these people are good, why these people have this, seemingly relationship. How are you doing with the storytelling, and as far as kind of feeling engaged in the show?
It's like any story. If you don't know the threads, you just come into a story, just pick it up where it's at, and I'm, like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's not the best, but it's the best I've seen from Star Wars in a while.
Right.
So, and I don't, I just saw Ezra today. I saw Thrawn today. Um, and it feels much more well written, but that's probably because there's so much backstory going on.
Right. Yeah. Because there isn't, they feel like they necessarily didn't have to do the work, even though I wish they would have just give us like at least one episode or like a 10-minute, hey, here's here's what it is. Here's the
Yeah.
relationships and here's the backstory. Just a little. Um, I know I kind of brought it up to Adam. Have you watched any of the One Piece live action yet on Netflix?
No.
Okay. The only reason I bring that up is because that's pretty much the most popular manga and anime on the planet. I think it is the best selling graphic novel on the planet is One Piece. Outselling Batman and Superman included. I know, Adam, I know, but yeah, we got to go with the facts here. But I just think, and I think we'll get into a little bit later. I'm not sure how long you're going to hang out, Nate, but that's definitely like a recommend. Like, go check that out because one, the storytelling's fantastic for world building, building relationships. It's all done very very seamlessly. There's not too many. Uh, One of the biggest things with Ahsoka is there's so many gaps in the dialogue where they're just people looking at each other like let's go guys, like we let's get some storytelling here, and there's like, and I think people had counters for between words, how many beats or how many seconds are between. It's just like, but One Piece, it's a super tight, well told story. Once you get past like the ridiculousness that is that world, there's really good writing, really good acting. Even though I can't tell you any of the actors from One Piece, um, which conversely with the Ahsoka cast, I know a lot of people from that, and it's just you've got a bunch of great actors and actresses, and there's just not a whole lot of great dialogue. So,
Yeah.
and I think, and it's kind of weird how that works out because anytime there's like two big shows, they end up sort of competing, sort of like Barbieheimer or whatever, Barbenheimer, and then and like House of the Dragon versus the Rings of Power, where they kind of end up competing. And I think uh, hands down, One Piece is better. Um,
Something happened to your microphone, Nick.
what happened?
I don't know. You
It's
kind of
just
sound like you know.
internet connection.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say yeah, walkie-talkie sounding.
yeah. So,
No, there you are, Peter.
yeah, there you are, Peter.
All right, I wasn't sure you'd get that reference.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there you are, Peter. Nate, if you had not seen someone in 10 years and you had journeyed a long, long way to get them, how would you react? Would you react with more emotion than Ezra and Sabine did?
Yes, I was thinking more like I love you and I'm gonna kick you dead in your nuts.
Well, because so we had a family event earlier this year, and I saw people that I hadn't seen in years, and it got awkward with how much I was hugging people because just between COVID and everything. But I was like, I'm hugging the crap out of people. I'm sorry, I do not care. But that emotion in that scene, I was like, did he just help you move a sofa? Like, where's the like? That's what I was like. If like, I think Adam and I, when we met face to face, had more emotion in that moment than this show had. Where I'm just like,
Yeah. I mean, we went 20 years without seeing each other.
right. But he literally goes, "Oh, hey, you found me. I'll go get my stuff." Oh, okay. Like,
Sounds good.
all right, sounds great, buddy. Like, I literally traversed the galaxies to get here. I was in a space whale to get here to you. I I betrayed my friends and master to get here. You'll go get your stuff. Okay.
Good,
So,
good.
yes.
Good. We got to get going.
Yeah, because
know?
time, but it was just stuff like that where I'm just like, who wrote this? Like,
It was AI. It was AI.
who acted? Who's like, yeah, this is a perfectly reasonable thing, because look, I know they don't have to ship them up and all that thing, make them, but it seemed like there was way more motion to, we got to get here, and then you get there, you're like, fantastic, go get your stuff. Let's go.
You know what they really need? They need to find a kid who has all the Star Wars toys, who absolutely just plays Star Wars every day, and just watch him. Right. And they then take those ideas and make a Star Wars movie. Because I remember making some pretty damn good content as a child that followed along with what I had just seen on TV.
What about Lord Helmet?
Oh, you mean
playing with his action figures?
That's right. Lone Star is dumb.
Because good is dumb.
Because good is dumb. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Let's see if you know how to use it.
You fell for the oldest one in the book.
I can't believe you fell for it. The oldest one in the book.
That's good.
And okay,
surrounded by assholes.
Surrounded by assholes. Hey, what did you think of your first impression of Thrawn? The live action, they brought him out finally. Do you know anything about Thrawn?
No, I mean I've read that he's like a master strategist. He's not necessarily for something so devoted as he is to his own causes. I thought he looked a little bloated, maybe like he
not the physical imposing nature that I was expecting.
Like maybe he had a tuna melt for lunch or something.
I think
a space tuna melt.
I think his cummerbund thing was a little high, and I think, yeah, he might have just come from a buffet. I don't know, but it did not cut the most imposing, silhouette, if you will.
Yeah.
Adam, I'll bring up the picture for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess I wanted to share with you guys, but
okay.
But it's off track from that, so.
Fine, we're off track from everything. So. You got
do you want to show it now?
Yeah, might as well.
It's me running really fast. Look at me. Look at me. I picked up. I've been picking up some.
He's here.
I've been picking up some trade paperbacks. Something is Killing the Children. This one is called Accidental Aliens by Andy Ducleth, I think. She's out of San Diego. This is a horror comedy called Stuff of Nightmares by R.L. Stein. It's like a step up from Goosebumps. Philadelphia. And I'm actually reading comic books now. So Dark Ride is another horror comedy. My mind has slowed down to a point where I haven't watched as much TV as I've been reading. So and I have several others out there.
Have you read all of them?
Nope, no, not yet. I'm actually going to pick up Bitter Root too, but I've been trying to be selective because it's like if I go into a comic book store anymore, it's more than likely I'm going to buy something.
Right.
And I'm trying to save money to make comic books, so I plot well, and if I'm going to go support a comic book shop, I can go up and pick a couple titles up. So I have to catch up on my reading though. And that is all.
Well, that's excellent, Nate, dude. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often have you been going to the comic store?
Like I said, I don't I don't go often because I want to buy stuff, but my wife got into an MBA program in Tucson, which is about a 2-hour drive south. And we went down there on Saturday to, her parents were here. We went and had lunch. We went to try to get on the campus, but there was a football game and it was parents' weekend. So it was ridiculous. But we went to, she told me to bring some comic books with us. And we went to the mall, and lo and behold, there's a comic book store. And I walked, and the owner was busy, but the other owner, who is his wife, walked in, and she absolutely loves Night of the Chihuahuas. So she bought a couple sets, and that was probably about 4 p.m. And at 9 a.m. the next morning, I got an order for 32 more books from them.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, walking into comic book stores is good. It's just can get expensive.
Don't I know it?
Oh, here we go.
I've been wanting to go to the comic book store so bad for the last few weeks, but I dare not right now.
Yep. I know the pain.
All right, so let's see.
He's fat.
He's fat.
It kind of puts it out there a little bit, so a little on the nose, I know, but yeah, not
He kind of looks like Elon Musk.
I was just gonna say that.
That has been a very popular comparison, and I think a few people actually just refer to him as Elon Thrawn or something. Yeah, not the badass you think that you think you're gonna get.
If he fights like a Jedi, I'm for it.
He fights like a Jedi, eats like an Ewok, you know.
Eats like a Jedi.
Yeah. So,
Jedi.
What's that?
He's a sumo Jedi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and now he's gone.
We lost him.
Well, he kicked off for that last joke. So, so I think I'm gonna get into some of my. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Here I are. What did you do?
There you be.
Kick me out? Yeah. What did you do?
You made a crappy joke, so I kicked you off.
Well, I do think they should have. I do think, yeah, no shit. I do think they should have sumo Jedis, and I don't think there's enough representation for sumo wrestling in the Galactic Empire. And it will always be the Galactic Empire, not some stupid puny republic.
So body positivity Jedis. That's what Adam wants in his Star Wars.
I didn't say body positivity. I said fucking sumo wrestlers.
I want to see the room. Sumo with the sniper with a lightsaber flipping around. Is that
That's
too much?
I want to see that too, actually.
He's like,
yeah.
He's like, hold on a second. Have I done something there?
I want to see it.
So,
Adam,
you didn't see in the finale of Ahsoka?
Sumo
Jedi.
Well,
that would have made it better. Nick looks away disappointed. You were like,
nothing would have made it better, huh, Nick?
I've been betrayed.
I don't know. There's a lot, but
what if Kramer would have shown up
as a Jedi with his lightsaber and all like his hair all doing that thing? Yeah,
as Kramer the Jedi.
Right.
Fucking Jerry and Elaine. All of them, man.
Hey, did you watch? Is it episode 5 where like Star Wars references itself?
What?
So at the beginning of the show,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Did that just like I almost was like, oh no, like.
How did it do that?
I thought it was clever and well done because it was like a little jab at itself.
I did not. So
Just
there's
send out an assassin to kill me.
right, just like I'd rather die
We're
than
not
let's
friends
reference
anymore, Nick.
ourselves because they're literally like memeing on themselves. Like,
So what did they do?
So okay, and it was very subtle, and it was very like, you know, kind of slick and kind of clever, but at the same time, like incredibly cringy. On at
Yes,
least I thought.
incredibly cringy.
So they're sitting in the cockpit, and I forget the droid's name. Is it Aang something?
Hu Yang or something.
So he's this Jedi, basic. He knows everything about the Jedi. He's been training Jedi forever, and him and Ahsoka are sitting in the cockpit. He goes, "You want to hear a story?" She's like, "No." Okay, go. Like that's pretty much that's how the scene went. And he starts to tell a story, and he starts with the story a long
time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
And I went, "You mother effers."
Well, I don't know how I feel about that either, Nate.
He says, "Do you want to hear part 1, part 2, or part 3?" And she said,
"You want me?
part 1 because it's the best.
You want me?" He goes, "All right. Well, I'm going to start at episode 4. So screw it." But
I don't know how. You know what?
That's jump sharky stuff for me almost. That's almost
a little bit. A little bit.
And here's the thing. So
clever,
but cringy.
That's my life.
It's like, hello.
You guys red color hair. Come on.
So what was it? I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, I lost it. But anyway, yeah, just and it. Oh, okay. So when Dave Filoni, known for his cartoon work, you can kind of get away with a level of dialogue because it's, especially Rebels. Rebels was really geared towards the younger audience. Clone Wars was pretty much a wide open net because they told some pretty intense stories. And with the level of dialogue on those, you can kind of get away with certain things. Like you can I know plenty of animated features that have very sophisticated scripts and writing, but man, the cartoon dialogue kind of just transferred to the live action dialogue, and boy does it not you can't do that. Like you need an extra level of sophistication or two, because there was a few lines where after they go and get Ezra and he's like, "Oh, I was so alone for so long, and Ahsoka goes, "Well, you're not now." Oh, fucking thanks for showing up, Ahsoka. Like, and there's just so many like little lines like that where I'm like, who's writing this? Sphinx from Mystery Men? Like,
it's AI.
Yeah, AI. Like, hold on, let's go do this as cheaply, but it's not like that's the line, that's the scene. Like, I love Rosario Dawson, as I've previously stated. Adam says he'd watch her paint. I would watch Ahsoka Rosario Dawson watch paint dry. Like she's beautiful, and I think she's a fantastic actress. But whoever,
if you don't give the actor something to do, then you're gonna
this dialogue is the reason I didn't care about the writer's strike, because it's so mediocre. Like, it's just so like, holy geez, like you guys got paid to write these words, and it's going to be on television.
They're going to get an Oscar for the.
Oh, it's
writing.
Already. I think it's already been nominated by some stupid organization, like for female empowerment or something.
Yes.
Like something that no one cares. Like they literally just like, we made this award to give to you guys.
God,
like you didn't win anything.
Nick, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna say, Nick? Nick is the nerd Howard Stern.
I apologize, but I just want good stuff, and people, if you do good work, you should get rewarded financially.
They got nominated by this feminist organization who represents something that doesn't matter. said Nick. You know, like that's for him. Like, oh, Nick, come on now.
Direct quote. End quote.
No.
But it's just
Pin drop.
And someone made a comment earlier. You know, there's that stupid theory that if Indiana Jones wasn't in Raiders Lost Ark, like the same thing would happen. That's stupid, by the way. But in this show, it's true.
I mean, they did get the Ark of the Covenant
because he found it.
Yeah, but they would have found it.
No, they were digging in the wrong spot.
We'll have to review that. You might have just redeemed Raiders.
Okay, if that's what it took to redeem Raiders, like we got to have a conversation, friend.
Well, I mean, not that Raiders needed redemption.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
It's one of those stupid memes that's like, no, that's dumb. Like, anyway, that being said, this show did not need Ahsoka. The end. Everything else would have happened because, and I don't want to get into spoilers because Nate's here, but it's one of those like, if she were not here and a handful of other characters were here, the same outcome would have happened no matter what. So it's just like, and let's be honest, it's not the Ahsoka show, it's the Sabine show. So Ahsoka is exactly. Sabine, who was Ahsoka's apprentice at one point, and then they had a falling out. That's why they're so ornery at each other at the beginning of the show, which if you they're like,
if you just watch the show, Adam.
Well, I was like, well, in case you're wondering, because they don't explain it, mind you, why they're kind of like giving each other side eye the whole time. It's not because they dated, even though it kind of looks like they did, but it's because they had a falling out and they're still kind of pissed off at each other. So, but that never gets addressed, but it never really gets like, hey, this is, there are two people standing back around like, why are they so mad? Oh, they used to.
Well, Sabine was peeing in the plants.
I was going to say something. I'm not.
She was peeing in the plants. That was the way of the dark side. And
wow, I've crossed over to the dark side a few times, and I guess.
Yeah, well, Ahsoka said, "I'm not putting up with this. I'm never taking on another Padawan because all they do is pee in the plants." And then Ahsoka went off, and
mind you, all the other apprentices were cats. So
there you go. And then she just became her own little Jedi out there until she met up with the Mandalorian.
Now I see cats with lightsabers fighting sumo wrestlers with lightsabers.
Okay, have you seen those
Puss in Boots?
Puss and Blasters. That sounds weird.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen those videos where they have the cat flipping around?
Puss and Sheets.
They actually edit lightsabers and all that in. It's amazing. Some like very short videos that people put so much work into. I'm just looking at it from like an editing standpoint. I was like, you know how much work that is to do that? But it was like cat video, and I'm like, yeah, but that was a lot of work. Like, at least like it, please.
Damn.
Van Damme.
All right, Nate. So I'm gonna get into spoilers. You want to go, or you want to hang out for spoilers?
Well, what are on for Ahsoka?
Yeah.
I should probably go.
Okay.
Oh. All right, Nate. It was good to see you, my friend.
What are you guys going to talk about next?
Next, I don't know. We got to find something. So, you
All
go up
right.
with the topic. Maybe we'll have it. Maybe you'll work your way back onto the show.
Gee whiz.
I know when I said that, I was like, "This is gonna sound so mean." Like Jesus.
Meet me out back.
Howard Stern of the nerd community.
Oh man!
All right, Nate. Thank you so much. Anything you want to?
Good night, Nate.
Anything you want to talk about before you go?
We're gonna be in about a month. We're gonna be with you guys at Motor City Con. Hooray!
Okay.
Hooray for us! Um,
A toast. Raise your marshmallow stick.
Kickstarter maybe December-ish. So now last book. And we're gonna go to San Francisco Thanksgiving weekend, and the following weekend we'll be in LA. And that's all I know.
And you guys are ballers over there. You're like, we're just gonna head up L.A., San Fran, no big deal.
My plot and evil plan is to go beyond the borders of Arizona and try to get other people to like Chihuahuas, because no offense, I see creators with awesome stuff, but they just stay local and only so many people are going to buy it. It's like, how do you get out there and what can you do?
Because of your book, I'm going to meet a few life goals and then own my own Chihuahua.
Nice.
If you need Chihuahuas,
Yes.
working on this plenty.
Will his name be Sabine?
Highly unlikely.
Nick will come and kill it.
real quick before Nate goes, there's a joke that some other channels are what they're referring to Sabine as. They're referring to it as Flick My Sabine. That's
Oh.
So.
Well,
and on that note,
is opening doors for you to do things. It's funny because it helps. It works in ways that I don't think it will, but maybe we'll keep the ball rolling. So thank you guys for everything.
Thank you.
Always.
All right, my
Thank
friend.
you.
We will talk to you later.
Thank you guys.
And all right. Now I got the Nate out of here. I can get into spoilers and really start ranting and raving. All right, so this kind of goes back to my point with memeing on yourself and referring to yourself. Adam, do you know C.S. Lewis's work in Narnia?
Yeah.
So this is
I'm quite a fan, actually.
Okay, fantastic. The title for this last episode of Ahsoka was The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's what I said when the title card popped. I'm like, oh, for F's sakes.
You know what? Hi, Kitka. Anyways, at least, with Masters of the Universe Revelations, when that came out, and they were Easter egg type title cards, man, that meant something to the brand. Right. Even like there was one writer that he was a good writer on it. They had to put him in his place a few times though, because he kept wanting to do the Four Non-Blondes thing with Prince Adam in the show. And they're like, we're not doing it, dude. It's not happening. They will not let this through.
Real quick. My son's friend in high school, he was wearing it, iPod when it was just an iPod at the time. And my son walks up to me. He's like, what do you listen to? He's like, the 10-hour, it's like 10 or 15-hour version of the Four Non-Blondes as He-Man.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm listening to that the whole time. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And he went back to him later that day and he's like, what do you listen to, man? He's like, still going. So,
oh my God. That's crazy. Well, and a story that they did put a nod into that. That even that made it into it, and they choice for a destination or something, or chance for a destination was one of the names of the episodes, and so that song, it was just a nod to how popular that was, and that's it. Sold here, or all things sold separately, or whatever, everything you see here, that was it. That's not creative at all. What is it? What is it? What is the episode called?
The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord.
Stupid.
It is stupid.
Stupid.
All right. Now I got my notes out here. So I went over some of the stuff, and I'll start with Lars Mikkelsen. He's the guy who plays Thrawn, and I guess he voiced Thrawn in Rebels TV show. Which cool,
Okay.
nice nod, because I know a lot of people were upset that the woman who voiced Ahsoka in the TV show didn't portray her in live action. But I was like, yeah, but you got Rosario Dawson, so you go with Rosario Dawson. No offense to the very nice, very talented voice actor,
I agree.
but like
I'm still here.
Lars Mikkelsen, fine actor, but man, just when you got to look like a badass, I need you to look like a badass, and we can't just paint you blue and put you in a white uniform.
Sure.
And here's the problem, and Nate kind of touched on it. Thrawn is supposed to be a genius tactician. When you can't write genius level dialogue, you probably shouldn't try.
Okay.
Because when you're not smart, like you don't have to be a genius to sound like a genius. Like you can just be kind of clever and get away with it. That's kind of what I've done most of my life. Because you're just a little bit clever, you know. So when you're trying to portray this character as a genius and he does nothing smart and makes proclamations, you know what he is? You know what Thrawn is in this effing show? He's drunk. Because he makes false proclamations. Because at one point, I think it's the last episode, he's like, I've already won the battle, blah, blah, you know, we've secured victory. Well, guess what you didn't do in episode 8? You clearly didn't secure victory. Like, it's almost like they try and set him up like that, where he's just making these proclamations and you end up making your main antagonist look stupid. And you don't fear stupid, usually.
Oh, no.
I know that's not a perfect saying, but let's compare our.
I understand what you mean.
But so when we're introduced to a little character known as Darth Vader, he walks in, you know,
very imposing.
Oh, and by the way, when he gets, you know, a little bit of slack, you know, or whatever guff from one of his, you know, commanders, he kills him. And you immediately go, wow, that guy's not to be effed with. Thrawn, as we stated, does not look physically imposing, does not cut a very imposing image or fit image. And he does, frankly, he doesn't command very well. And his troops also don't function very well. So, you're not making your villain, you're not helping out your villain.
I thought this guy was the scourge of the universe.
In the books, he's actually, because he's so smart and so clever and such a good tactician, like, Vader doesn't fear him, but he's definitely like, I gotta keep my eye on that guy. You know, and Vader doesn't do that for very many people. You know, for Star Wars. But like, to contrast that from One Piece, we have our main antagonist ends up being at the end, Arlong, and he's a fishman, and he's kind of got a weird snout, like his nose looks like I think it's a sawtooth shark. Anyway, he's scary, he's imposing, and the actor who portrays him, like, you know how certain times people kind of get lost in makeup and prosthetics and that.
Yep.
This guy's portrayal, like the way he was able to emote through the makeup and everything, I was like, that's so good. Like, you're doing so good, buddy. You're doing so good. Like, I was just so impressed with the villain, because he's scary, he's unpredictable, he's powerful, he's all these things that Thrawn is not coming off as.
Well, what a way to shit the bed, buddy.
Yeah, and we have not even yet begun. All right, so I talked about the dialogue. The dialogue's dog shit. Like, when I was talking with Nate, going over notes, where I was like, look, I can't do dialogue. like I can kind of block things and say, hey, like this part of the story does this to the story, but I can't get like I don't do words very well.
Sure.
So, but I can definitely recognize poor dialogue when I hear it and when I see it. And one of the biggest crimes of Ahsoka is they set up some kind of interesting things, and none of it gets paid off. So we have our reunion with Sabine and Ezra. It's like, hey, buddy, I think there's a quick hug, but there's no like. It's like not. It's literally like one of those weird church hugs where you kind of go hip to hip and like, yeah, thanks, okay. And some of the stuff, and at least with Ahsoka, it's like a little bit better. But like Balin, who is played by the late great Ray Stevenson, the most interesting thing throughout the entire show, he does something at the end. We don't know why. He goes to this mountain that looks like a thing from. Tell me if you've heard this before. Lord of the Rings. It looks like one of those big statues from Lord of the Rings, and I think someone was saying it's Mortis or whatever. I don't know. It's a bunch of shit that Dave Filoni made up that I don't really care about. And it's just, man, there's so much wrong with the show, Adam. Or I really never thought it would be this hard to get good Star Wars content. Never in my life.
That's why I said earlier we're going to do something a little. Let it out. Let out the anger, man. Let out the disappointment. We're just anger, right?
And one of the other things that they set up is Morgan Elsbeth. She's supposed to be one of the big ads that Balin is supposed to be following and all that. We don't ever see why she's to be followed, why she's a leader. They just go, oh, we're following her. Oh, yeah, okay, whatever. So she becomes one of the witches. She gets, invited to join the coven, and then she gets some weird, stupid makeup, and then dies 10 minutes later.
Why do we have witches in Star Wars?
Dave Filoni is why. And that's one of my other things. I hate that there's witches in Star Wars. Now, if you want to say, hey, Jedi are just space wizards, I'll give you that. That's fine. But we don't need actual witches in Star Wars.
Yeah, we don't need covens and things like that. You know what I mean?
You got it, sir. So, and they manifest, and the witches before this, they manifest this green flaming sword. Why? I don't know, because she needed a weapon, and that's what they gave her. It looks kind of cool, but who cares? Because Star Wars. So you have Ezra, Sabine, and Ahsoka charging to I think it's a Chimera Thrawn ship in order to try and stop him from getting away. Okay, Adam, Thrawn says something it sounded kind of badass. Because he's, he looks on his war map and he sees, okay, they're coming this way. And he goes, unleash hellfire. I'm like, oh, shit.
Right.
So the Star Destroyer just starts raining down gunfire.
And miss everybody.
And miss every single person. Because, like, I get it. Like, when they did that, the stormtroopers couldn't shoot straight in The Mandalorian. Ha, funny. Like, that's kind of how you reference yourself. But at a certain point, you have to go, hey, these stormtroopers who have been with Thrawn for probably decades at this point are probably pretty proficient at their job. And they might actually, I don't know, knock them off their stupid dog horse thing that they're riding. No problem. And so as they get close, Ahsoka says, hey, Ezra, push open that door. Okay, so he uses the force to start pushing. And then Ahsoka notices that he's having a hard time. He says, Sabine, help him out. Now, Sabine, at this point, had a hard time at moving a cup with the force. And this is another big thing in Filoni's Filoni's Star Wars that I think we talked about on previous shows, where I get it that there's this weird, like, either you've got the Force or you don't. I don't necessarily go with that theory. I always kind of look at it like the Jedis were like the NBA players or NFL players. Yeah,
Right.
technically I can play the game, but not at that level. Like I can't do that.
Right.
And so I it's always something, hey, probably push a cup, move a door. That's not a big deal. But have a true connection to the Force, that is something that's that's cool, to bring God into, that's God given. And
like our podcast versus Joe Rogan, like he could never reach the skill level you and I have for this kind of stuff, but he does modestly well.
I think he does okay for a noob,
Whatever.
But
Yeah.
they've turned it into more of, Adam, if you just try hard enough and wish hard enough, you can use the Force too.
Cool.
So that's where we're at. So I bring that up because then she starts pushing her hand towards that door as well. And apparently now she knows how to use it. So Thrawn notices they didn't get shot. They made it into the fortress, yada, yada, yada. Oh, and right around now they say, okay, we have some volunteers. And they have some volunteer stormtroopers, and they go, like, they take the squad and they go and attack the intruders of Sabine, Ahsoka, and Ezra.
No.
And they immediately get killed because essentially you have three Jedi. But guess what happens, Adam?
The
Go.
Jedi win?
No, well, yes, but
Okay.
the witches raised the volunteers from the dead. So now we've got zombies.
Necromancy?
Necromancy. Because witches in space.
I mean, it can happen. I'm not saying like you can't have witches in space. I'm not saying you can't. It just in
But
Star
it's not
Wars.
Star Wars. It ain't
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Right. I mean, well, it's a whole vast universe out there. I just don't think they did a very good. Anyway, I'm listening.
So, and here's the thing. So it looks kind of cool, but that's one of those, hey guys, it's just around Halloween, so we made our zombie stormtroopers. No, they're zombie stormtroopers. So they're all shocked. So
no, we need a Halloween episode.
We need a Simpsons Halloween episode, except it's Star Wars. You see. So they eventually keep running from the oncoming zombies, and so Thrawn goes to Morgan, one of our bads, and says, "Hey, I need you to go take care of these guys." And you know what that means? Basically, hey,
gotta whack them.
Well, I say, I need you to go sacrifice yourself so we can get away. Because that's the thing. So the Chimera is trying to. That's the thing they're trying to do. The Chimera is getting ready to go back to the galaxy that they're from. That's what our heroes are trying to prevent. So he sends Morgan, and Adam, how would you take on 3 opponents at the same time?
Well, who wants to get blown first? We'll do that. And I'm joking. So, how would I take on 3 opponents? I'm not trained for that. I don't know. Hit the biggest, baddest one first.
This is how they did it in the finale. Morgan takes on Ahsoka, and the other 2 just keep walking by past her to keep going to Thrawn. And I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, not like I tried to grab you or I tried to do something. No. They look at her. She looks at them as they just keep walking through the door past her. And I'm just like, this is the dumbest. What is this?
It's like you said, who wrote this?
Who's like, this is a good idea. Now, so Morgan and Ahsoka, they start the duel. Morgan's got her green blade. It's a sword. It's got green fire coming out of it because witches. And then they have Sabine and Ezra. They're fighting through stormtroopers to get to the ship. So the Khmer, the Star Destroyer, starts to take off. And once again, Sabine had a hard time moving a cup not too long ago. And I mean hard time. She couldn't move a cup because she had no connection to the force. So Ezra is like, hey, we're going to jump. But what I need you to do is I'm going to jump and then you're going to boost me. And once I make it, I'm going to, pull you over. Okay. So he jumps and then she does a force boost and boost him up onto the ship. And then she goes, peace out. And she goes back to help Ahsoka. And I'm just like, what's happening? Why is this the way it is?
It sounds awful.
And guess what? Thrawn still gets away.
Oh boy. So the season's over?
Season's over. So
and he gets away.
Thrawn and Ezra now on the same ship get transported back to our galaxy that we know of. Star Wars. Sabine and Ahsoka are stuck where Ezra was for a decade. They essentially traded places. That's the highlight of the season. Is the two people looking for Thrawn and Ezra are now stuck where Thrawn and Ezra were.
Well, an ironic finish, I would say. It sounds pretty lame, man.
It is pretty lame. And then our final scene, I don't know if it's our final scene, but oh no, because they have a couple stupid shots. But so Ezra, and this is like another thing. So they show Hera's ship with the fleet, and they let this Imperial shuttle, without blowing the shit out of it, they just let it land in their docking bay. And a stormtrooper walks out and then takes his helmet off, and it's Ezra. How do we know how Ezra got the ship? Don't know. How do we know how he escaped? Don't know. How do we know how he knew where they were? Don't know. Why did he wear the stormtrooper outfit when he was by himself in the shuttle?
Fashion.
It's a little thing called style.
Yeah.
And these stormtroopers had some red accents, so they were super cool.
I will be unveiling a Batman cowl soon.
Oh.
'Tis the season to be spooky. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
I think
sorry for cursing.
I may have painted myself into being a turtle this season.
You're gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to, unfortunately. God, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean you're already a ninja.
Clearly,
yeah,
it's got to happen.
Yep.
So, but it's just the show. What it's done what a lot of Star Wars has done. They set up stuff, but they don't pay it off. And that's one of the things I really made a point to Nate. I was like, hey, dude, if you're going to set shit up, at least pay it off. You can't just write something because it's cool. And if it doesn't have a payoff, then, like fan will have that in their back of their head, be like, hey, remember like this show, there was a lightsaber wielding. I think he had a Inquisitor's lightsaber. And everybody's like, oh, who's that? Is that Ezra? Is that such and such? Oh, we don't know. And you know what happened to him? He got cut in a duel, and then gas escaped, and went away, and you never saw the character again. You didn't know his name. You didn't know like his backstory at all. It was just like, well, who the hell was that? Because and that's the thing. So many people are like, "Who's that?" And the internet started like speculating. Oh, is that Ezra? Is that Thrawn? Who's these people? And it's literally a bag of gas. That's the answer.
They did that with Michael Myers in the 80s with the Halloween 4, 5, and 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. They had a guy show up in town, and basically they're just like, yeah, stop looking at that guy. We're not going to do anything with that guy.
Yeah, that guy? Don't worry about that little guy.
Yeah, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him.
But
well, Nick, it sounds like you're kind of crossing over into the I don't give a shits about Star Wars and Star Trek.
I said that with Kenobi. Kenobi was my last string of any hope that Star Wars would be good. The only reason I watch it, honestly, for content. So.
Right, something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about.
And here's the thing, Adam. There might be one thing that you would never expect a Jedi to say to another Jedi, but they said it. In the middle of the fight, when Sabine is wielding her lightsaber, Ahsoka goes, "Switch to your blasters." I went, "Oh, for F's sakes."
Well, what's wrong with that? That's tactical fighting.
A Jedi would never go, "Hey, let's use guns."
But don't they carry blasters too?
No, they carry their lightsaber because the lightsaber was the best weapon ever until Star Wars effed it up.
Until Star Wars effed it up.
Until the new, it doesn't kill anybody anymore. It doesn't cut anything off.
What?
So Sabine got stabbed by Balin's Shih Tzu Shin. Got stabbed, apparently just through the side, and they're like, no big deal. We're going to walk it off. Because, there's not, vast amounts of evidence. When you get stabbed by a lightsaber, that's usually that's a kill. Happened to Qui-Gon. What's that?
I want to show about Lieutenant Harris name today.
Oh, and I'm by myself. Welcome to the escape with just Nick, apparently. And Nick, Adam should be back soon. Who knows? Hello? You're still not coming through, but hopefully you'll come through. You hear me? So anyway, is Ahsoka? Am I recommending Ahsoka? Not if you're a Star Wars fan. And I hope, Adam, you know what? I really hope. I hope Nate really enjoys it and has fun with it and watches it with his kid. Because I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
I thought it was terrible. And if you watched it and enjoyed it, God bless you. But that's not my cup of Star Wars.
Maybe you just need to watch it with a kid. Go get some Halloween candy and see if there's any outside and say, hey.
See if there's kids outside or candy outside.
I'm joking.
I'm pretty sure a kid is I'm just gonna bring your kid in my house. Don't worry.
Right. Just gonna bring your kid in my house. Or you show up and then at their house and sit on the living room floor Indian style. Hey, they don't call it Indian style anymore, do they?
Oh, it is pretzel style.
Pretzel style.
Crisscross applesauce.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's just to say things aren't necessarily getting better, but all right, so I've ranted for over an hour now. So, Anything that you got on the docket?
Yeah, they really need to make these Arkham games a little less hard. You know, I'm trying to play Origins again. I'm playing Xbox 360 right now, and
Well,
can't seem to.
I'm gonna tell you what my son told me. Get good, nerd.
Ooh,
That's why I don't play
okay.
video games anymore.
Yeah, but I'm having a riot with it, man. I am. I'm having a good time with it.
Good, good, good. So
No, I wish there was something out there that could entice me into watching it. I really do. I thought I was going to sit and watch this whole season of this survival show, but I lost interest yesterday. Real quick, too.
dude, it's so hard to keep my. It was hard enough before I got old, because I used to watch like a lot of terrible movies.
Me too.
But like, dude, like now that I'm older and we were talking about how time is important, I was like, if you can't keep my attention, peace, I'm gonna go do something else.
Yep. Me too. Me too. I totally know how. I mean, it's precious. Time is precious.
Yeah, yeah. That's the. I forget what I was when it happened, but there was a crazy day where I was looking in the mirror and there was this hourglass over my head, and I just went, huh.
Mm-hmm.
Has that always been there?
From the
Turns
minute.
out it had.
Yep. It's nuts. It's
But,
nuts. I do got a gripe about these replacement figures that they do.
oh, the
Like,
repaints?
no, not the repaints. They got better Masters of the Universe figures now. And like it's like, dude, I don't want to buy another fucking Man at Arms and another Trap Jaw, but like the Revolution Trap Jaw looks like crap. Flat out. His face is just too big and his mouth is too tiny and blah 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 blah. So yeah, they get you one way or another.
I see that Toy Shiz put up on Entertainment Earth for pre-order. Yeah, the Mattel Masters He-Man's Origins Cartoon Collection Wave 1.
Yeah, that's for the smaller figures.
Yeah.
They look cool, but those aren't my cup of tea.
Yeah, they look good. Adam, did you know that NECA is producing some DC toys?
Yeah, those goofy little ones, right?
Yeah, the what are they called, the Toonie Tears or Terror Tunes or whatever.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked. I'm like, what the hell?
I was like,
I saw an article for it. I was like, well, that's bullshit because I know I'm up on my toy news. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this was a good show tonight. I enjoyed hearing you rant, man.
Well, that's what I'm here for. So.
We're not here to lead you astray, Planet Houston.
Well, that's the thing. So I sent you, I don't know if you watched or not, I sent you one of those reactions.
Sorry, God. No, Jordy LaForge.
Oh.
Oh, did you call me Jordy LaDumb? Oh, I get it. I was too LaDumb to get the joke at the time, huh? All right, go on. What were you going to say over there? Abscessed, fucking fucked up tooth head.
I punch you in your face. Did you watch that reaction video I sent you to the Anakin stuff?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Refresh my memory.
So it's mainly just all these YouTubers who do reactions, and there's a bunch of YouTubers that do just reaction videos. But I can't feign that much anything for that level of complete and utter bullshit that some of these people are freaking putting on the internet and putting their name behind. Because that's the thing. I can't do that, man. I can't sit there and be like, I was like, the show wasn't that good, and the only good part of that scene was the editing. I'm speaking, of course, when that scene
kills the younglings.
Well, that too. But when they have him walking, because this is another Filoni thing, the world between worlds bullshit. So you have Ahsoka and Anakin interacting, and he's teaching her a lesson, and he's walking up, and this is later in the episode, he's walking up, and they do the flash between Anakin and Darth Vader walking, and everybody's. I was like, oh, Jesus. Okay. So it was good editing. It was a great looking scene. It added all of shit to the story.
Ooh, yeah. It was a stinker.
Oh, now I remember. The last scene of this show is Ahsoka and Sabine looking off in the distance, and guess what appears?
Millennium Falcon?
Force Ghost Anakin.
How? Isn't he a lot? Wait. Where does this show take place?
Where or when?
We have both.
When is just after, not just after, I think it's approximately 10 years after Return of the Jedi. So it's
okay, so it's Mandalorian timeline.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he's dead.
Right.
But it's just the key jangling of all key jangling. And I feel bad for Hayden Christensen because, look, man, if anybody deserves any retribution from all the crap he caught from being Anakin and his portrayal of Anakin, it's that dude. So I feel bad for how he was shit on a lot for his portrayal of Anakin, and I never quite understood why. But and now they bring him back. They brought him back a few times for the show, but it was literally just, look, Lily, you remember Anakin? Oh, there you go. There you go.
I remember.
All right, my friend. Well, I'm hungry. I gotta go get something to eat. So.
All right, my man. You have a good night.
All right. So, if you want to see what we're going to be talking about on the show, you can go check us out on Facebook and Instagram. If you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, that would be great if you did. We are on all the major podcast platforms, even though I am slacking on uploading those. You're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and Google Podcasts. Any final words for the people, Adam?
Love, peace, hair grease, everybody. If you like Star Wars and you like this stuff, good for you. Enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. There is absolutely no such thing as wasting your own time.
Good night, America.
Good night, Planet Houston.